Hey friends, Kevin here, and today I'm going to take you through the buying process or the shopping process of what I do when I'm looking for something I'm going to use for van life or traveling. I actually have done this with other vehicles long before van life, but it works perfectly for vans, whether you're looking for a minivan or a full-size cargo van or some type of conversion van or whatever. I'm just going to use a minivan as an example in this video. Now, I'm going to pull the whole screen up here in a moment where you can see it. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do this, and you'll get some of my philosophy on why I'm doing it this way. So let's get to it. My place to go look for vans, used vans that are being sold by dealerships. My choice is CarGurus. There are other sites out there, but I think this site just works simpler than most of them without annoying me with unneeded questions. So, you're going to be on the used car tab. You're going to click the make, model. You're going to put in your zip code or the zip code of the biggest city near you, whatever this one happens to be for a place in Tennessee, which is near me. So, we're going to pop over here. Now we're going to have different options that we can use. We know we need a Dodge Caravan. For our example, we're going to use a 2012. Now, everything between about a 2008 and a 2020 was basically the same body style. They kept it for a really long time with that particular generation. But I'm just picking something here at random, okay? Because I want to take you across these different websites and show you what your options are going to be. I've done a radius of 100 miles. Again, this is going to depend on how big your area is, how many results you end up with. Now, I want you to keep in mind that what I'm doing is I'm using what these dealers are asking and selling these for as a baseline. Because with these older vehicles, I'm more interested in going and dealing with a private party. And yes, you have these guides out there, whether you're using NADA or Edmunds or Best Buy or Kelley Blue Book or whatever. And you're going to get wildly fluctuating prices depending on which one of those services you use. I've looked up a similar vehicle on all three before. I just want to get a baseline. So I know now what I'm going to be aiming for and what I should see when I go over to private party sales, which is going to be cheaper prices. So let's just run across a few of these real quick. Dodge Grand Caravan. Exactly what we want. $139,600. We have one here with $170K on it. We have another one here, $68.95, $140,000. $6,000, $180,000. $74.50. So what I'm looking at are the ones that are in this $150,000 range, which is going to be this one, and this one. Because this is going to be my baseline now, 63, 68, 74. And I understand there's different trim levels and all of that. It depends on what you care about as far as the niceties. The SXTs are going to be a little bit higher trim levels, have some nicer things inside, maybe leather seats compared to cloth seats, those kind of things. Again, I just don't care about that for what I'm going to use it for with being a camper van, but it depends, again, on your personal preferences. There's no wrong answer. So between base and this, I've got a baseline now, which is roughly $6,500 to $7,500. And that's what I wanted to see. If I was looking for this particular vehicle in this particular mileage range, coming from a dealership, meaning it should be in good cosmetic condition. It should be nice. And I'm not talking about Joe Blow's buy here, pay here lot. I'm talking about something that's sitting on real dealership lots. With that said, it's up to you whether you want to pay the premium you're going to be paying to deal with a car dealership. So let's get into examples now of what we're going to find when we go shopping. So let's bounce over here to Facebook Marketplace, Kingsport, Tennessee. We can come down here, we can change our little mileage rank wherever we need it to be. It will update. There's our search, 2012 Grand Caravan. Let's go back out just a little bit wider here, see what we end up with, and look at what these individual listings are going to be. So you've got a 150,000 miles, 2012 model, $7,000, and guess what? It's a dealership listing. That's why it's up in the range that you see all the other dealerships. So we want to try to come down in price and save you or me or whoever's doing this some money. So here's one for $5,000. We're going to click on this and open this up. It's a 2012. The mileage is right, 166,000. Not many for pictures. Has what I assume is a firefighter's emblem on it. We're going to see I have a nice Dodge, blah, blah, blah. He's going to get into what details it's got. Speakers, cool air and heat, 3 rows, dent on the side, doesn't matter. The RPMs have been going up while I drive. It won't shift. It honestly could be something simple, but I don't have the time to fool with it. It also could need a new transmission, in which case that one is out of the question. We obviously don't want that kind of stuff to be having to deal with right now. 215,000 miles, a little more than we want. Go a little bit outside of our search range here. $6,700, that's dealer price range. $5,000 in Harrogate. We may look at that one. That one's too much. $6,000 in Wilmington. A Chrysler Town and Country is the same as a Dodge Grand Caravan, which is probably why it's merged the listings. Facebook doesn't do a lot, but at least just figured that out. And the Chrysler tends to be just a step up. It's going to have a nicer interior, but the underbelly, the drivetrain, all of that is going to be the same. So we can click on this, $5,500 for this one. See what we're dealing with. 139,000 miles. Runs great. I mean, you can see this one has a leather interior now, which is that upgrade going to a Chrysler Town and Country compared to a Grand Caravan. Of course, it doesn't matter since we're going to take all the seats but the front seat out anyway. We're using it for a camper van. Says it's had 2 owners. So this has potential at $5,500. Let's see what else we have. This other ad I skipped over. Where did it go? $5,000. I don't know why they're showing an interior picture first. It's being sold as is, obviously. Never wrecked, scheduled maintenance, new tires. It's actually 2 years newer. So it's a 2014 instead of a 2012. Thank you, Facebook, for not even showing us what we searched for. But it is in that same generation of these vans. Sitting in front of a nice house always looks good. Makes me feel a little better that maybe some better maintenance was perhaps done to it. And they're going to lose a lot of interest because people are going to see that first word that click over to this and they're going to think this thing has already been sold. Well, it's not been sold. It's just the first thing they put in there was the sentence, it's being sold as is. As are all vehicles like this. So now we have 2 distinct possibilities here for $5,000 or $5,500 compared to the money we had over here. And trust me, if that 2014 works out, that would be sitting on a dealer lot for probably $9,000 and possibly a little bit more. Not even taking that in consideration, we're now at a difference, 68 to 5,000, 74 to 5,000. We're in a situation with either one of these vans from private parties that work out that you're somewhere between saving $1,500 and $2,500. Now, is this a little bit more hassle than going and doing this at a car dealership? Well, absolutely. but it's not going to take you very many hours to do this research, and it's not going to take you very long to run around and test these vehicles out. If you have the money in hand and you're ready to go with this, that's a heck of a lot of money per hour. If you can save yourself, even if you have 10 hours into this total and you save $2,000 on this vehicle, that's $200 an hour. It's some of the best money you will ever make. Now, let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do this same thing and do this between here and maybe Craigslist, and do this also on some other vans, some older ones, some newer ones, some different brands, whatever, if this is something you'd like to see in the future. But let's talk about this a little bit more. So I hope you got something out of that. I hope you can see the difference now between what we started looking at and going out and paying a dealer $6,500 or more for something you can get for $5,500 or less from a private party with a little bit of negotiation. Now, the private party thing, dealing person to person, buying your camper van, minivan, cargo van, whatever it is, of course, it's going to be a little bit scarier process to you if you've never done that before. So in the next video, I'm going to take you through exactly what I do step by step when I go look at a vehicle that I am interested in buying. And trust me, the ones that I have bought from dealerships over the years, used vehicles, I do exactly the same thing. I take them out and test them exactly the same way, because their 121-point promised inspection by the 19-year-old nephew they have working out in the garage for minimum wage, that doesn't interest me a bit. It's got to pass my own test before I buy it. So that will be in an upcoming video. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll talk soon.